Last week, Architects released their new record, The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit. I'm going to keep this review very short because I don't believe in putting negativity out in the world for no reason. But Architects is a band that I care very much about, so I'm going to go ahead and give my criticisms of it. Keep in mind, it's only been about 20 months since their last record, their last full-length record. That's not very long, especially if you think about like, oh yeah, a year, every other year or something is pretty normal for bands, especially in the like rock, metal kind of world. But 20 months, barely over a year and a half. I'm sure that they could write plenty of good songs in that time, but a whole record, I don't know. It seems rushed, and it sounds rushed, and I'll get into that in a moment. First of all, the first single they released for this album is When We Were Young, and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite Architect songs. It's one of my favorite songs that's come out this year. I'd be lying to you if I said I liked the production style of that song, but the song itself is amazing. Really simple but powerful riff, good lyrics, good vocal performance, solid sounding drums. In the context of the album though, I think the album is quite lacking. I don't think the production is amazing. The guitars a lot of the time seem to be undermixed. The drums are very raw, which on one hand is kind of cool, but Architects are traditionally a very polished kind of band, especially in more recent years. Maybe not so much in their earlier days, but you know, in more recent years they're more polished. So we have this mindset, especially now that they've gone more into the butt rock area of things. We come to expect a certain style and production quality in Architects that I don't think quite gets there. And you know, I don't think anyone would say that Sam is like the best singer of all time by any means, but he is a good singer, and I feel like they should have spent more time on his vocals on this record, because I don't think this showcases his range all that well. And I definitely think if they had tried a few more takes, they could have gotten a lot more out of him. I do think that there are a lot of great moments in this record though. There are moments where everything kind of drops out and it adds this moment of suspense and it builds back up, and I think dynamics is a big part of what makes a good song, especially in rock bands, metal bands. If everything's heavy all the time, you know, blast beats and chugs and all that, screaming the whole time, yeah, it's cool for a minute, but without dynamics, it can only make you feel so much. So Architects nails it in that department. Architects also continually, no matter what style they're trying to do, whether it's more of the genty stuff, the more metalcore, the more butt rock, the older days, and they're like more like, I don't know, mathcore days, I guess. No matter what they've done, they've always been able to write really, really good guitar riffs. And I think that's still true here. But songs as a whole, I don't think it quite delivers. Mostly coming down to lyrics, if I'm being honest. I think even some of the melody hooks and like what the main vocal lines are, and the song structures themselves, I think for the most part they're okay. But especially with this record coming out so fast, they definitely should have spent more time on the production, and they definitely should have spent more time locking in better lyrics. If I'm being honest, I think that When We Were Young is probably the only song that I personally will want to listen to more frequently. Typically when I do album reviews on this YouTube channel, I try to listen to the album 3, sometimes even 4 times before I state my opinions. And if I'm being honest, I barely was able to listen to this record twice. I don't think it's really that exciting. And again, it has really good moments, but the songs themselves, it's weird. It's like Architects are so good in dynamics, and that's such a big part of what will make a good song, but then they're so lacking in other departments. And again, I'm not trying to tear Architects down here. I love Architects. I have for quite a while now. But that's why I think it's important that fans speak up and you know, we say what we do and don't like about what they're doing at any given point. I'm actually kind of fine with Architects being a rock band more nowadays. I like a lot of the buttcore stuff, you know, the metalcore bands who turn into rock bands. I'm cool with that. That doesn't bother me any. Especially on their last record, there were several songs that I think are top-notch, some of the best of that buttcore genre that there is yet. I did review their last record, but it didn't get a lot of views, so as a quick recap on what my thoughts were, assuming that you probably didn't watch that video, I was kind of saying a lot of what I'm saying here, but I do think the production was a lot better on that record. and I think on average the songs were just better. The album was too long. If they had trimmed it down to 10 or 11 songs, I think the album would have been a lot better. You cut the maybe 4 or 5 songs that weren't quite up to snuff, you cut that out of their last record, it would have been way better. Which actually probably also would have then helped this record. Those 4 or 5 songs that they were like, yeah, they're good, we'll put them on the album. No, take them back. Those 4 or 5 songs that weren't quite as good, take those, work on them a little longer, maybe another year or two, then you could put them towards this record. If you take those couple songs from the last record that I didn't think were very good, you spend more time on them. I think that there's the start of a good song there. Take those, and then take the best of the new record, and you spend a little bit more time on it, spend another year on it maybe even, and you'd be able to probably have a much better record. Everyone in Architects is an incredibly talented musician, and they seem to understand songwriting better than a lot of other bands in the genre. I don't know much about the background on what's going on with Architects. I don't know what their dealio is with their record label, their management, their contracts that they have behind the scenes. I don't really know any of that stuff. From the outside looking in, though, it almost seems like that they are just trying to rush one last record to get out of their album contract and go independent or get into a better record deal. That would be my assumption just based on where we're at, because the last couple records have felt very rushed, and there is obviously the start of a very good song there, and I feel like they're delivering it just a little too quick. I think that they're just rushing it. That not only comes out, especially in this new record, with a lot of it obviously just came out too fast from the last record. The songs needed a little bit more work, but even the production seems very rushed, and I think, like I said, everyone in Architects is incredibly talented, and I think they could have delivered something much, much better. So those are my couple thoughts on the new Architects record, The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit. Again, overall, the only song I really will probably see myself listening to more going forward is When We Were Young. Who knows, maybe more of it'll grow on me. Again, I think a lot of the bases, the starts of the songs in this record are all very good. I just think that they should have taken it a little bit farther, and really a lot of the guitar work on this record is really cool. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are there songs that I'm not as fond of that you are fond of? Let me know if there's something that I'm not thinking about, or if you know more about the behind the scenes on maybe why it seems this way, why I'm feeling the things that I'm feeling as far as what I'm seeing them do. If you're more aware of the behind the scenes for Architects and what's going on over there, drop a comment. I'd love to know, I'd love to learn, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, because I think part of what's great about music is we don't all have to agree. I have a couple other album reviews coming out very soon, so make sure you're subscribed if you like album reviews. Check out my channel. I've done guitar covers, commentaries, top 10s, other stuff. I'll see you later.